Been a while since I've been back in this setting. What's going on, guys? I'm Steve Pulaski, back and better than ever with another video review, this time of Baywatch, a movie I've been looking forward to for the last year. For what purpose, I don't know, and now I come out of the theater sorely disappointed and convinced I've now seen one of the worst films of the year. Always a good sign when I can start a video by saying that. Baywatch stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Zac Efron, Kelly Rohrbach, John Bass, but you know what? A lot of that after Zac Efron is irrelevant, because if you came to see anybody besides Dwayne Johnson or Zac Efron, then you're not going to get too much. Unfortunately, Baywatch is another one of these really crude, vulgarian comedies that thinks all it needs to do to be funny is to say a lot of four-letter words, a lot of rampant sexualization, a lot of homoerotic jokes, and a lot of jokes involving Dwayne Johnson referring to Zac Efron as Malibu Ken, One Direction, Justin Bieber, and a bunch of other pop culture references that grow tiresome over a 119-minute movie. That's the one good thing. It's not 2 hours. It's 119 minutes, FYI. I never watched the original Baywatch program, one of the myriad of old TV shows I never watched and yet feel a little bit wiser for not having watched it. Of course, it's the Pamela Anderson, David Hasselhoff show. And this film, one of the many negatives about this film is that it doesn't seem to want to do anything with the Baywatch name aside from say it over and over again and give the film a little bit of an exterior purpose. Aside from cameos from the predictable old Baywatch stars, the use of the names, in addition to a couple self-referential jabs that are just so shameless and pretty witless, there's no reason for this really to be called Baywatch. There's no connection to the original series. There's no real attempt to be anything like the original series. Whereas at least 21 Jump Street, of course it's going to suffer by comparison because 21 Jump Street is one of the only cases where bringing back an old TV show and adapting it into a very vulgar movie really worked. With 21 Jump Street, yes, it abandoned the premise, but it was cognizant of that. And it not only did that, but it went on to do something all its own with that premise. Where Baywatch tries to do that, but it doesn't have the chops to do it at all. And it doesn't have the humor either that 21 Jump Street or 22 Jump Street had. It's very bland. It's very obnoxious. It also frequently mistakes action spectacle for comic setups, which I don't really understand. Like I said, it's an ass-numbing 119 minutes long as well. Just kind of going through the motions of these like shameless comedies that really make you laugh because they either bring up race in a very stupid little scenario. They either just go way too dirty and crass. And this is a funny thing too, because you know what's funny? That I was really surprised about this movie. There's very little to no nudity in it. In fact, I would go as far as to say I think there's more male nudity in this movie than female nudity. And I find that very surprising because you think that they'd be tempted to do something like that with a movie called Baywatch when everybody's all like, beautifully touched up and retouched up. Dwayne Johnson's muscles have never looked bigger. Zac Efron's muscles have never looked more enhanced before. So I was very surprised at the lack of nudity in this film, though, too. I was really surprised that they restrained themselves that much. But it doesn't matter, at least in the regard that they still use Kelly Rohrbach, unfortunately, as just sort of this like mannequin ploy, when I think she's got some of the funnier moments in the film as CJ, one of the lifeguards that's like the assistant to Mitch, played by Dwayne Johnson, and Matt, played by Zac Efron. Other than that, I'll go into a little bit more in my written review. You can click the link below. I'd love for you to read my written review. Tell me what you think in the comments below. But yes, 1.5 out of 4 stars for Baywatch. A D on Influx Magazine. Sorely disappointed. Almost incredibly unfunny film. I'm Steve Pulaski. I got my review of The Lovers coming Friday afternoon as well, so you can look out for that. And then we get into the month of June when it's going to be a whirlwind of film reviews. So keep posted on my website for that. Also check out my new single, Humble, which you can find on my YouTube channel as well. One of the singles off my upcoming mixtape, 3 Much. Would love to hear your feedback on that as well. Thank you guys for watching and for subscribing. I'll see you in the next video review. Bye.